All right, today we're going to talk about the new SEO and AEO formula for paving companies. And we're going to get into the latest updates with the Google algorithm. And it's really changing all the time. So our focus really more so is on how AI and answer engines and things like that are shaking up the market. And the things that you may have put in place in the past that could be hurting you now. How to optimize your website using the new SEO and GEO formula. So what is this? This is our accelerated growth model where you drive leads, maximize conversion, optimize results. That's what all these videos are about. That's what we're always talking about. As part of our accelerated growth roadmap where, you have to do all these things, and this is the process for doing it. And today we're focusing in on organic. If you go back and watch our other videos, we really cover all these things in various ways. And it's all boils down to our digital dominance method, which is in order to really win your area online, you have to do all of these things. Now, if you're not doing all of these things, you're not going to change that all at once. So pick one, dig into it, get it implemented, and then move on to the next. And then new for 2025, I've added AI. It's important. It's changing things. Nobody really knows where it's going to end up yet. Could be huge. Could be the hugest thing ever. It could be, like the internet. But between those things, it's a massive change. We need to account for it. We need to be prepared for it. And so we're going to be talking a lot about it. Why should you listen to me? I wrote online marketing for paving companies, and I just finished the third edition, which is called Marketing for Paving Companies. And I am receiving my proof copy in the mail today, and that will be out soon. It's much bigger, over 600 pages. It doesn't just cover online marketing, it covers all the marketing. You're going to want to pick it up. And I run paving marketers. I'm doing it for years, and even before that, I've been running a digital marketing agency since 2011. We've been doing this a long time. We've seen it all, and we get results for our customers. And so that's what it's all about. And we've worked with dozens and dozens and dozens of paving companies. This is just some of them. There's many, many more that aren't on here. So let's get right into it. So does SEO still matter? And you know what SEO is. You know what search results are. You've been seeing this for 2 decades now or longer. You know that most of the clicks go to the maps and the top couple spots. The ads matter, but it's these top spots that get all the attention. And that hasn't changed, and it won't change, at least not in the short term. It's still going to be like this. Okay, so all this AI stuff, this AEO, this GEO, all these things we're going to talk about, not going to change this, at least not in the short term. Okay, so this still matters. You still got to do it. You still got to do it right. We'll talk about that. So what is AEO or GEO? And to put it simply, these are just terms, these are acronyms that are made up. I don't think they'll be the same a year from now. Something else will replace them. Maybe they'll stick. Who knows? But this is what people are using now, so I'll use it. But I fully expect when I redo this video next year that these will change. But basically, answer engine optimization is focusing on optimizing your content to show up in like the answers area. So like think of like searching Google now, how you have that like generated AI response at the top before it gets into any results. AEO would be how do you optimize your content to land in that. Whereas GEO stands for Generative Engine Optimization, which is how do you optimize your content to be picked up by these things generally. And by these things, I mean like ChatGPT has a search feature, Google Gemini, which really powers all of their AI, so there's not really a distinction there. If you've heard of Perplexity, that's a search engine that's very popular with some tech people. Microsoft Copilot, which is really just ChatGPT because they use OpenAI. They are a partner with them, so it's no different. And other large language models like DeepSeek, which is the Chinese tool, or one of them, I should say. So, the difference is how are you picked up as a valid source by these models? That's GEO. How are you picked by those models to be part of the summarized answer? That's AEO. We'll see what they're called a year from now, but that's the distinction. Okay? So like GEO would help you show up in this thing, right? This is ChatGPT. It's searching for like a local plumber or HVAC or AC customer, and then boom, there they are. So that's GEO. Okay. So numbers here on search volume, and I don't buy these at all. I think they're wildly off. I think there's way more than 10 million searches for home services, not even close. And I don't think ChatGPT is anywhere near that. The numbers that I've seen have them like a fractions of a percent search volume compared to Google. So I would say the numbers are small but growing. Could you get leads from AIs? Yes, definitely. You could get leads from ChatGPT. You can get leads from Perplexity. It'll find you, and it's not from Google. So it's a different referral source. You'll see it in your analytics if you look at that stuff. It's different, but it's still small. Next year, it will be bigger. But it's not going to be huge, and I'll tell you why. It's because Google is still king. And as I record this video in mid-April 2025, for the first time in as long as I've been tracking this, which is at least 2 years, Google has the state-of-the-art AI model. Google Gemini Pro 2.5 Experimental is top of the line in the SOTA benchmarks, as they call them. SOTA, state of the art. And this was inevitable because Google has a huge team. They invented a lot of this technology. And, you know, ChatGPT and some others like Anthropic raced ahead, but Google has the money. It has the compute. It has the teams. Much bigger than these others. To beat them, and they've caught up, and now they've caught up, they're not going to get left behind again, and I'll tell you why. For the same reason that Microsoft Teams beat Slack, if you're familiar with that at all, Slack is maybe a better product in some ways, but Microsoft has a distribution. Teams is included with Office 365, so why would you pay for Slack when you already get Teams? With Google, they have the distribution. They have the search market share. So who is going to change? Who's going to go use Perplexity aside from some tech nerds? Nobody. Who's going to switch to search.chatgpt to find their local plumber? Not you. Nobody. Very few people. But when Google rolls this out and it's at least as good or comparable to anything else that's out there, you're going to use Google's because Google has a distribution. And Google has workspace users, Google has Gmail, Google has search, Google has the browsers. They're going to win. I've looked back, I've been saying this, I'm sure I've said this multiple times in videos before. I've thought it for a long time. Everybody's hyping ChatGPT and OpenAI, everybody's hyping Anthropic, everybody's hyping DeepSeek. I'm telling you right now, this is the first data point that proves I'm right. Google is going to win. They are going to have the market share, and they're not going away, which is very sad news for those of us who hate Google, because they're an awful, awful company. Awful. Horrible support. Criminal in many ways. You could never get away with the kind of support they offer. But they're going to win. And this is why SEO is not going to change. Because Google is still going to be using their core models, which you're already optimizing your sites for, to power their generative AI stuff. And so how you do it might change, but it always does. Think about getting in maps. You used to be able to do certain things that now they don't work. Think about on-page optimization. Some things didn't work, now they do. So the tactics will change, as they always have, but the strategy is not going to change. And so, you know what else will happen? Think about it. They're going to put ads there. That's right. You know it's coming. That's exactly what they're going to do. So, when it says here many users are bypassing traditional search, it's not that many. AI tools aren't going to change. Whatever is innovated in the market, Google's going to behemoth it, and they're going to beat it. So yes, bottom line is SEO still matters. You can't rely on pay-per-click alone, but you're going to do pay-per-click to get the full market share leads. So, do SEO, do pay-per-click, do it all. That's what we tell you. The data on the leads bears it out, and that's just the way it works. So, the bottom line is, if you watch this video from last year, nothing's changed. I mean, obviously the video is different, but your SEO approach, especially with what's happening with this AI stuff, really has to focus on building your expertise, building your authority, and building your trust. And let me give you an example. What I would recommend you start thinking about is making videos of your team or you doing the work or talking about the work. So when you're seal coating a parking lot, grab some video of it. So you can make a YouTube video that talks about, hey, how do you seal coat a parking lot? Okay? And then put that video on YouTube and then embed it on your seal coating service page. That's improved the content of the page by showing expertise, authority, and by them being able to see your team doing the work and the finished product of the work, they're going to be able to trust you because there's a video of you doing this. And as people make fake stuff with fake AI videos and things like that, it's going to be increasingly important that you give people a window into the reality of you and your business. I've been doing these videos for a while now. People hire us because they watch these videos. And the reason is I'm not doing these so that necessarily people will buy from us. I'm doing these because there's a lot of marketers out there, a lot of people who don't know what they're talking about, a lot of people that you just need to trust them. They know what they're doing, and everybody's been burned 1,000 times by marketers. So I want to put content out there so people can see what we're about, see what we teach, see what we know, and understand that we have expertise, we have authority, and you can trust us because we're telling you what we're going to do. That's the point of this, and I would submit that more than just marketing companies are going to want to be doing this. It is going to be a very strong differentiator for you when someone's looking at hiring paving companies. If they go to your service pages and see videos of you doing the service, is it easy to do? No. Do you have 10 million other things to do? Yes. But I'm telling you, it will make a difference over time, increasingly so. And you can see if you look at ChatGPT's criteria for inclusion, they're including the expertise, authority, and trust stuff. Customer ratings, years in business, certifications and licensing, local presence, okay? Same stuff, I'm telling you, it's not going to be any different. So the new SEO formula is the same as the old SEO formula, which is get the basics right, get your information out there, let people know that it's okay to hire you because you're going to do a good job. And, that's not going to change. What also is not going to change is customers are going to be out there looking for someone to pave their parking lot or their driveway, and they need a way to find you. And whatever the technology looks like, whether it's boring search engines or search engines enhanced with AI, that is still what's happening. And so you're still cultivating your online environment to make it more likely that you are found for that versus your competitors. It doesn't change. So don't listen to the hype. Don't listen to the 8 millionth dork say SEO is dead. They've been saying it for 20 years. They'll say it for the next 20. It's just stupid. It's not true. The fundamentals don't change. Okay? But the tactics change. And so as you think about how AI changes this stuff, the way that you optimize pages will change. You're going to include more information. You're going to include more detailed information. You're going to include more authority markers than maybe you had to before, because now you've got a different thing that's out there searching for you, and you have to make sure that that thing finds you and shows you where you want to be shown. But that's still SEO. Okay? Giveaway here. I said we worked with dozens, if not, got to be over 100 by now, paving companies. Paving keywords. Go get the list. offers.pavingmarketers.com/keyword-list. It's free. Probably already have your email if you're watching this video. So go check it out. Grab the list. No harm. But these are keywords that we've seen to have some value. Okay, so grab that list. All right. As far as on-site optimization goes, I've done a video on this at least once. It hasn't changed. There's 8 million sources. There's probably 100 million sources on the internet explaining on-site optimization. Have an outline format, pages for each one of your services, good user experience, good website. You can read this stuff, pause it if you need to, or later I'll have an SEO checklist. You can go download that if you really need to. Good page speed is important, but I'm not going to go through all this stuff, and it's kind of boring. I don't want to talk about it. Like I said, there's a checklist. I've done videos on this. There's thousands and thousands of other videos on this. If you really want to dig into that stuff, go ahead and check it out. The only thing I'll say about off-page SEO, these are backlinks. You want to make sure you get good backlinks, especially local backlinks. Join your local chamber of commerce. They generally give you a good backlink. Try to get in your local press, sponsor local charities, sponsor local Little League teams. Invest in those things where you can. Get the links. Get those those things help you, especially as these models start looking for who's the best paving company in this area. If you have a lot of local links, that suggests local authority, right? So think about that. Think about ways to get those. It's going to help you. And ultimately, just focus on expertise, authority, and trust. There isn't really a smoking gun that says Google uses this, but the evidence is all over the place if you know how to look for it. And so do these things, find creative ways to do these things, work with partners that know how to do these things, and your results will do better. And now, as promised, if you really want to dig into this, go to pavingmarketers.com and grab the SEO checklist. It's up there. You can grab it. Just do it. It'll improve your site. And if you'd like to talk to us about doing this for you, go to pavingmarketers.com/apply-now. What we do is we put together a market report. We look at how you stack up against your competitors, what opportunity we see for improvement for you, what recommendations we have, and then what working with us would look like if that's something you'd like to consider. And you can always just give us a call, and we'd be happy to talk to you there too. So I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you next month.